A woman came to Gautama Buddha long after her husband had died. She did not come in the first days when grief still has a voice. She came later when the rituals were finished, the ashes had been given to the river, and the world had moved on. She stood in a place that no longer existed. She bowed but did not cry. Her grief had become a silent pressure inside her chest. She asked, "My husband has died. I loved him. Tell me, does reincarnation happen? If there is rebirth, do people meet again? And if they meet, can they recognize each other?" The Buddha did not offer sympathy. He looked at her the way one looks at a knot, knowing that pulling it only tightens it. After a long silence, he spoke. "Woman, you have asked 3 questions, but they are all born from one refusal. You refuse to accept impermanence. You say your husband has died. First, understand what has died. Only then can you ask what continues." He asked her what she meant by husband. She found only images, his face, his voice, his hands. Was he his name? The Buddha asked. Names are just sounds. Was he his body? The body of yesterday was not the body of 10 years ago. Was he his thoughts? Thoughts vanish faster than breath. You lived with change every day, yet you speak now as if something unchanging has been taken from you. She whispered, but the love was real. Love was real, the Buddha replied, but you confuse love with permanence. He traced a circle in the dust. This circle exists because my finger moves. When the movement stops, where does the circle go? You loved a movement. When the movement ended, you demanded a destination. The woman gathered her courage. Blessed one, answer me clearly. Is there reincarnation or not? The Buddha's gaze became sharp. There is continuation, he said. But there is no one who continues. There is no traveler moving from body to body. There is no soul carrying memory like a bundle. There is no husband waiting behind death. What continues is craving. What continues is habit. What continues is ignorance repeating itself. Fear arose in her. Then he is gone? You are trapped in opposites, the Buddha replied. Gone and not gone are inventions of thought. When a flame goes out, where does it go? She shook her head. Then why do you keep asking where he went? She tried again. If paths cross, will we recognize each other? Recognition belongs to memory, the Buddha answered. Memory belongs to the mind, and the mind belongs to conditions. When conditions dissolve, so does the who. You did not recognize him before you met him. You recognized a form and attached a story. Recognition is not truth, it is habit. Love becomes painful only when you demand that it defeat impermanence. You do not suffer because you loved. You suffer because you wanted love to guarantee continuity. He did not soften his voice. You want rebirth to promise reunion. You want reunion to justify grief. You want grief to prove that your love was special. This is how suffering multiplies itself. You are not grieving because he died. You are grieving because you believed something permanent existed. Now you ask if you will meet him again. The Buddha continued. I ask you something harder. Did you ever meet him even once without projection? You met roles, expectations, and needs. True meeting does not depend on time. You are rebirthing him every moment in your memory, and each rebirth wounds you again. This is the rebirth you must end. What should I do with my love? She asked. Remove the owner, the Buddha said. Love without clinging is fast. Love with memory is narrow and painful. When understanding arises, there is no one left to wait, and no one left to return. And yet, nothing has been lost. He watched her carefully. You think something precious has been taken. But look, what you call loss is only the ending of repetition. You woke beside him for many mornings until repetition became comfort, and comfort became identity. When repetition ends, the mind calls it loss, but truth does not recognize repetition as possession. When the sun sets, do you say it was stolen from you? She shook her head. You understand the sun sets, but you refuse to understand that relationships also set. You believe that if love does not repeat itself, it has failed. But love is not a contract with time. It is a response to what is present. When presence ends, love does not need to search for a future. Only attachment does. Your heart still moves toward him because habit has momentum. When a wheel has been turning for years, it does not stop the moment the hand releases it. Grief is the turning of the wheel after the hand is gone. You think you want reunion, the Buddha said, but you really want relief from uncertainty. You want to know that what mattered will matter again. But love is not validated by repetition. It is validated by clarity. You are waiting for your husband, but waiting is the subtlest form of clinging. It keeps you from seeing what is here. This earth does not wait. This breath does not wait. Only The mind waits. The woman's breathing slowed. If I stop waiting, does that mean I stop loving? No, the Buddha replied. It means you stop demanding. Love that demands continuity is fear. Love that rests in what was is wisdom. You did not recognize him when you were born. You did not grieve the years of not knowing him because you did not yet imagine ownership. Ownership enters love quietly. First closeness, then preference, then fear of loss. By the time death arrives, love has been replaced by attachment. He leaned forward. If you were certain you would meet him again, would your suffering end? She admitted it would not. She would still be waiting. And waiting, he said, is suffering postponed. Meaning does not come from continuation. Meaning comes from presence without resistance. You are not meant to carry the dead into the future, he concluded. You are meant to let the dead dissolve into understanding. Forgetting is not betrayal. Clinging is. When you cling to an image, you do not honor them. You imprison yourself. Honor means letting what has fulfilled its nature come to rest. Grief ends when the living stop arguing with reality. Do not live as a shrine. The woman bowed deeply, her forehead to the earth. When she stood, the world had not changed, but the weight no longer pressed into tomorrow. She walked away, not hoping, not waiting, and for the first time her steps were her own.